in the shade. It's so
Sorry, just
it's
started
so
recording.
cold.
Uh,
Cool.
yeah, do you know what? It's been like that here all day as well. Like blue skies, and it looks delightful.
Yeah, it
And
looks a certain way, but I'm wearing
yeah,
like 4 layers, so no.
it's as somebody who lives in the UK, you just take it for granted that somebody in North America and you see blue skies and you just think, oh, it's just going to be baking hot.
No. Well, I mean, yesterday was 82 degrees here, and then there was like 45-mile-hour winds, and now it's like 40.
Right. Okay.
That's how it is. That's how it is in Virginia, at least. Like when winter goes to spring, you'll have like a really hot day, and then the next day will be snow.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's terrifying. You have to prep for everything.
Well, it's. I mean, like we get like changeable weather. We'll have 4 seasons in a day, but we don't get the extremes that you do. You know?
It's been getting pretty extreme for the past like 10 years, but that's to be expected like everywhere in the world. So
yeah,
I'm okay with it.
yeah, we've had floods and record winds and storms and shit.
I hate wind more than anything. So like that's mostly what it is wind, and I fucking hate wind.
Yeah.
It ruins the day. Ruins my hair. Trash flies everywhere. Like when we were on tour last month, the wind would be like 50 miles an hour in some places, and it would like throw the van on the highway. So that's, I mean, it's not ideal.
Yeah. We had things getting blown over all over the place. We had a record storm here recently, and it was insane. Like loads of trees gone, like just unbelievable. But welcome to the. When you get to the UK, you'll realize that it's the country of wind and rain.
Yeah, I mean, I was there 3 years ago for a week. Me and a couple pals just trounced around in the UK.
Oh, cool.
And I think it was in March of 2019. Yeah. And it only drizzled once a little bit in Manchester, and then it was nice. It was great weather the rest of the time. So I didn't get it.
Well, but what you experienced was Manchester. It's like that in Manchester. The whole country can be having summer, you know.
We went to Liverpool, we went to London, we went to Manchester. I think we went to Hull. Is it Hull?
Hull, yeah.
I can't remember. Hull City. I can't remember. But we went all over the place.
That's really cool, man.
It was a great time. It was a great time. I can't wait to come back. During the second leg, like in between the European tour that's coming up, we have like 2 weeks in between where we have a month of shows and 2 weeks off, and then like maybe 3 or 4 weeks of shows again.
Yeah.
And I think I'm just gonna hang out in England because I really liked it.
Cool, man. Well, you got a place to stay in London, dude. I got a spare room. It's all yours anytime. No problem.
I'll probably take you up on that.
Cool.
I'll throw you some money.
The funny thing is, right? The funny thing is that this is what happens, right? Like, in general, Americans will say to like people in the, oh yeah, come over anytime. You're welcome to stay. And then you say like, yeah, okay, I'm going to do that. And they go, yeah, come on. And usually Brits go, oh, come over, stay. You're welcome anytime. And they say that because they think, yeah, there's no fucking way they're ever actually going to do it. Yeah. And then like, they go, hey, yeah, it's us. Yeah, we're on our way. Oh, shit.
I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah, can you pick me up I'm at the airport.
Yeah. I actually live near the airport. So if you ever come over here, you have a place to stay and I will pick you up by the airport.
Well, dude, right back at you. I'm like 5 miles from Heathrow. So yeah, excellent. I'm in the pocket.
I might need your help when we finally go back, like, because I'm not super familiar. I don't know how passports and how we're going through customs and shit is going to go. Because I mean, in the U.S., like the only time I've ever had to do it was coming back from Taiwan, and I just have clothes, and they would leave me alone. And then going into Canada, you just flash your passport and keep driving. So.
Oh, it's a
going
breeze,
with all
man.
the gear and everything. I have no idea. So I'm just nervous because I don't know yet. But once I go through it and it's fine, then I won't care anymore.
It's a breeze. I mean, basically, yeah, it's a breeze. I mean, it's easier leaving than it is arriving, because leaving, you don't go through immigration.
Yeah, they just kick you out.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, see you later.
Great, leave.
And security's not, not that big a deal in it either. Well, it kind of is, because you get on a plane. But no, it'll be an absolute breeze, man. And you're coming over for Bloodstock, aren't you?
Yeah, and then I think we're touring just the UK, I think, for a week or so.
Awesome.
Around that.
Yeah.
Our booking agent, Ben Ward, who is in that band Orange Goblin.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's our booking agent for Europe and the UK, and so he's been a blast to work with, because he makes it all sound so easy. But I'm like, I know you've put in tons of time and effort, over his career and stuff, and now booking for other bands and stuff. Like, I can't imagine doing it. I don't know how to do it, but he's been great.
Well,
so all the shows look pretty awesome.
Well, I'm gonna. Do you know what? I'm actually looking. I'm putting in enforced UK shows, so we can find out exactly where you're playing. Because I mean, I would have thought you'd be definitely playing London.
Yeah, but I think 2 dates in London. We're adding more. He's adding like 3 or 4. I don't know exactly where all of those are.
So how's your voice been holding up?
I mean, I sound okay. But it's getting off tour. It actually held up the whole tour. I didn't lose it once. The last day was pretty rough during sound check, but I also had earplugs in, and I can't do earplugs on stage, because I sound, all I hear is my throat, and it just sounds terrible. So I just took them off, because I was pushing so hard, because I was trying to get over that throat noise.
Oh, do you mean earplugs? Do you mean earplugs or in-ear monitors?
Earplugs. I don't use in-ear monitors or anything.
Right. No. I mean, neither do I. Never have. But
I've never needed to.
Dude, you need
maybe one day.
Get yourself some custom earplugs. The stuff you buy off the shelves is all bullshit. I have mine custom made, and basically they have filters in, so they test your hearing, and they see where it's at, and then they basically put filters into the earplug that filters out the frequencies that damage your hearing. So basically, when I put earplugs in, I can hear absolutely fine. It's just it's just that it takes and usually it's the cymbals, it's the drummer's fault.
The cymbals and the highs on the guitar.
Yeah,
because one of our guitarists, he really likes to play really noisy. So like when he stops playing, it's nothing but feedback and screeching and howling and stuff. So I'm just like,
dude. Yeah, no.
He has like 3 different noise suppressors to like cut the signal, because it's so strong.
But it is worth investing in the in customs, because
I'll look into it.
Basically, it does it. Yeah, it just basically, like I said, it takes frequencies out. You can still hear the band. Everything sounds like exactly the same, except it's just takes the edge off it.
Cuts it. Okay. Yeah, I know. Everyone else in the band has them, and I'm just the stubborn one. Is just, I'm good. And I'm just, the rest of the time I'm like, why?
Yeah, but it's difficult as a singer though, because and especially the kind of venues that that our bands play, is that ultimately to get the vocals to cut through 2 guitars, a bass guitar, and an entire drum kit, you've got to have some serious fucking monitors, and usually you don't.
All mic'd, yeah.
And you've got one mic and one voice.
Yeah, and no one in the band wants to hear it. So because I'm saying whatever, I'm improvising sometimes, and there's like, just, we don't need to hear him at all, so cut him from all the monitors. I'm like, can I just get just one? So if I'm like passing it, I can hear it, to make sure that I sound right.
Fucking hell.
most of the time it's just, I'm just pushing, and I can kind of feel if I'm in the right place or not. But normally we don't really put vocals or much vocals in any of the monitors. It's mostly just guitars.
Fuck me, dude. That's going to
guitars, drum, and snare.
That's going to be hardcore when you start playing longer sets, with more songs to play and all the rest of it. It's
trying to think, like, because we usually when we because we're always opening or playing second or something on a tour bill. We usually have about 20 minutes, and this time we thought we had 25. So like, ooh, we can change it up a little bit, forgetting that most of the songs on Kill Grid are about 4 to 5 minutes anyway. So it's like, wait, you can only add one. And he was like, which one? And then we couldn't decide, so I think we threw on an older song that was about 3 minutes long or so.
Yeah.
And that was fine. But then once we got there, we realized, no, it's 30 minutes. We have 30 minutes. We're like, oh, well, we already have the set. Like, oh well. But after like a week and getting like really in the rhythm of playing that set every night, we knocked that thing down to like 22 minutes. Like when we play live, we play fast. Like I think UXO on record is like 4.5 minutes. We do it in about 3. Like it's really fast live.
Yeah.
So when you see us live, it's way more intense than recorded. Hopefully, that's the intention, at least.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it. It's if that's not the case, then there's something wrong with your live performance.
Yeah,
like
if we really if we played some songs like the tempos that they've recorded, I think people would get kind of bored. But like UXO's a perfect example, because I've been watching videos of like the on YouTube that people have recorded and stuff. I'm like, yeah, this sounds great because it's so much faster. It's way more intense. If we played it like the actual speed, which is super slow, my head would be wandering off somewhere else. I'd be thinking about like what we're gonna eat for dinner or something like that instead of paying attention.
Yeah.
So I like that we keep it intense.
And speaking of that, like that last tour you did, that must have been a trip, because that was a hell of a bill.
That was the best month of my life, and I'm not even kidding. Like, it the high that I got off of that lasted like 3 or 4 days. I was buzzing until my first day back at work, and then I just shut down. I got so depressed for like 4 days because I was just like, this sucks. I would rather be anywhere else in the world with that tour package. It was, everyone clicked, everyone became best friends, everyone was nice and helpful. It was just, it shouldn't have been that good, and it was. So like, it was very bittersweet for everybody when it finally ended. So it was just like, damn it. Like, can we do like another? Like, let's just play. We'll just play some random bar in like North Carolina or something. Do something.
Yeah.
And just wasn't meant to be. It's sad.
I'm just trying to remember. So it was you, Obituary, and
Municipal Waste.
That's it. Yeah.
Gate Creeper, and for I think like 9 days, Spirit World.
Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it's great when you get into that routine as well, where like you almost develop a whole new language, don't you? You develop tour speak, where it's like there's just certain catchphrases that make no sense to anyone. Yeah,
and it was honestly for that store, it was just grunting, like just I don't know why. I think Trevor from Obituary started it. He would just walk up to people and just go, oh yeah, oh. And just start, and then it got to the point where like everyone would start and finish a sentence with like what'd you eat for dinner? So everyone's just barking at each other for like weeks on end. A lot of good times. We rented out some random hotel's conference center so we could all watch the Super Bowl. It was like 50 people in this tiny conference center, just going nuts. It was cool. That was a really cool night. So we, that kind of tour, when you come back, I know exactly what you mean, where you need to decompress from the road, and it's like that adjustment. Yeah, that adjustment to
to every day somewhere new, every day a new challenge, every day a new place, and then all of a sudden to be back feeling like stuck in one place, and everything's familiar, and it's just like, no, I'm not.
Like I know where my car is. I know where my keys are. I know where I'm gonna spend the night. I know, that I'll eat like decent food. I know, I have to clock in at 8, just all this stuff that is so routine. I don't like routine. I realize I don't like it at all. I like chaos.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like not knowing and just being like, ooh, we're gonna have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Come what may.
I love getting to the venue, and it's like, right, let's have a look around here. Go. Yeah. It's like, what are the toilets like? Have they got a shower? Have they got a shower?
What's the green room looking like? Oh, it's a broom closet. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess we're all hanging out in the parking lot together. Like, what's the toilet? Does it have stalls? Do the stalls have doors? That's a big one.
Now you see, the key is that this is not something that our guitarist pointed this out to me, and he's absolutely right. The key is, when you get to a venue, just before the doors open, if you need a dump, you go to the ladies. Yeah, because
we've gone to venues where the ladies don't have stall doors either. And you're just like,
okay, right.
Like, well, I guess, they do, but the doors don't lock, or they do, but like there is no lock. So I found a good way to prevent anything happening when you sit down. Just stick your feet straight out, so they stand out, like they can see them from outside the stall.
Oh, right.
And then just like jiggle them around like a kid. So just kind of kick your legs, and no one will mess with you. No one's gonna check in on you or anything. Just look like an idiot, but they only see your shoes. It's fine.
Yeah, but the thing is, but there's a flaw in your plan, and that flaw is, I'm 5'5", so my feet just about reach the floor. Never mind the fucking door.
Well. You should get a broom then, and then just stick that out and just jiggle it.
Yeah.
And just yell occupied.
Yeah. My turd broom.
Yeah.
I love that. Occupied. Yeah.
Turd. You have to write turd broom on it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then give it away at the end of the tour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just throw it out in the crowd. I'll no longer be needing this.
Yeah. And you form a real strong bond with the crew as well, don't you? Because it's like, these guys are they've got your back. And
I mean, but that came with because I mean, the whole package as a whole, I mean, like, what Municipal Waste has crew guys, Gatekeeper has crew guys, Obituary has a grip of crew guys, and tour managers and everybody. We just had ourselves. So and even Spirit World came with some people. I think they had a sound tech and a merch person. So I think all in all, it was like 50 people. And there wasn't one jackass in the bunch, which I found weird.
Yeah.
As like 50 metal people, not one asshole. That's odd. So, but I realized, I was like, well, if there's no assholes, the asshole's probably me.
Yeah, that's the one.
But I was reassured that no, I'm not the asshole. So that was pretty cool.
In situations like that, you usually find, though, and I'm sure you found this, is like, because I've been in that exact same situation, and everybody else's crew just goes like, "Where's your crew? Oh, we don't have any. Don't worry. Don't worry. We'll look after you."
Everyone. I mean, that bond, and just because the day was so structured in terms of time slots.
Yeah,
like Obituary would start setting up, I think, at like 11 in the morning, and then they would sound check for like 2 hours. And so by the time that they were done, it was like 2 in the afternoon, or 2 or 3. And then Waste would do a 1, and then, oh no, the dogs. Hey buddy, hi buddy, you gotta go. Sorry, the dogs just threw me off. Where was I? Oh, but no, you're just hanging around. You're just hanging out with so many people for such a long time while you're waiting for other bands to sound check and everything.
Yeah.
So when it comes to like, okay, can you help? Like when this, since like this stage is kind of awkward, can you help us get the cabs off the stage? Because we have to walk them like a block to get back to the van, but we have to load out in 15 minutes. So it'd be like all hands on deck. There'd be like 17 people just taking apart the stage, and it'd be done in like 5. The turnover of 15 minutes would be 5.
Yeah.
So everyone would be ready to go and still got 10 minutes. You're just like, wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
So it became a well-oiled machine towards the end. And,
yeah.
That's another thing I miss. Is just like, wow, like we just naturally got it down.
Yeah, it's incredible. It really is. It's like the thing. What I always found as well is when you get home, there's kind of nobody to talk to that understands what you've just been doing,
except for other bands.
Except for other bands or your bandmates. But it's like and you go to work or you do whatever, and people are like, "Oh, so how was it?" And you're just like,
yeah, you just kind of have like this 1,000-mile stare, and just like, you have no idea the shit I have seen in 3 weeks. While you've just sat here in this bullpen of cubicles, I have seen things
that I cannot unsee.
That the mind real. And I had like, awesome experiences. I mean, I think the biggest show we've ever played up until this tour was with Toronto with Sacred Reich, and that was like 950. I mean, that was a good group of people.
Yeah.
But like a lot of these, like I think Berkeley in California, I think that was like a 1,700 cap room, and if it didn't sell out, it sure was close to it. I mean, it was like sardines in a can trying to walk through that place. But I think that was like 1,700 people, and like the pictures of it, like a few friends came and they were taking pictures, and like I looked like a little speck on stage, and I was like, oh my god, because you don't even see all those people.
Yeah.
Like on stage, you only see like the first 5 rows of people, and that's it. So you can't really gauge who's there until they turn the house lights on. You're like, oh my god, like that many people were here.
Yeah.
With all the lights and everything, you just can't. You'll just never know.
Yeah.
Unless you're playing like Bloodstock and stuff like that, and we're also playing Hellfest and some others. Like that's during the day, so I'm going to be seeing everybody.
I was just gonna say, because we played Bloodstock this year. That was our first gig out of lockdown, main stage, 18,000 people.
That
it was
my stomach turn.
Oh, dude, it's awesome. It's awesome.
I'm sure
Absolutely
it's awesome.
We had a major problem with oh shit! Hang on, fuck.
You all right? Fucking brick, and then it just cuts.
yeah, absolutely. I always forget to plug the fucking charger in, man. It just I was like, fuck,
At least we recorded everything, so you got it.
Yeah. I just convert it later. But so anyway, Bloodstock, main stage, a lot of people, guitarist, his whole rig went down after the first song. And
was it like a power issue?
No, a whole effects unit. An effects unit went. The whole thing was just fucked. So basically, I just stood there for 5 minutes, chatting to the crowd, keeping everything moving.
Oh no, I would walk on stage, dude. I can't talk. We talked about that earlier. I can't talk to anybody. No.
Yeah, but I've done stand up for 20 odd years.
Oh,
so,
you're good at it. Yeah.
So I was just like, okay, cool, no worries. And I just switched into, this is a room full of 200 people. This is not a field with 18,000. And it was just like, just had to bullshit for 5 minutes. And then
I was going to say, did you just go into your routine?
No, just bullshitting with the crowd, and just like basically kind of, you got to get them on side pretty quickly, because people feel sorry for you, but only for a certain amount of time. And then it's like,
and then they turn really quick.
Yeah. Well, we fucking paid for this, guys. Sort it out. Come on. Are you professional band or what? So you've got to try
figure it out.
got to try and get them on side. So it was fine. It was fine.
Yeah.
The whole hideous episode is on Bloodstock's YouTube channel. If you ever fancy a laugh.
How long? Oh, okay. I was gonna say, how long is it? Like, how long were you out?
Well, 5 minutes with just 5 minutes with no songs.
That's a lifetime. That's a lifetime.
It probably felt like that for the crowd, I got to be honest, but that was 5 minutes of a 45-minute set. So
45 minutes.
So we had to pull an enforced and just speed the songs up to make sure we played the whole set.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's how you do it.
Absolutely. So yeah, it was a blast, man, and you're gonna have a great time. You're gonna have an absolute great time.
You're cutting out. I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me okay? Hello. Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you now.
Right.
I missed all of that. I'm sorry.
Right. Okay. No worries. It was nothing special. Just basically, we played the set. We speeded up. It was all good, and you're going to have a blast. You're going to have an absolutely great time.
I hope so. Are you going to be there? Are you playing? I don't know if there's the flyer yet.
No. We played last year, so
okay.
But I'll be there. I'll be hanging out.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the guys.
I think we're playing with Discharge, and that's gonna be sick.
Yeah. I think. Oh, actually, are you? Yeah, right. Okay, so I think you might be in the tent.
I'm on the small. Yeah, I'm on a 10 or smaller stage.
Right, it's 5,000 or 6,000 in there, mate. It's the biggest tent. Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's a blast.
Is everyone under the tent?
Yeah.
That's a big tent.
Oh, it's a big tent. I mean,
I don't think it's a tent anymore.
One could almost call it a marquee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like a bazaar or something. Like,
yeah,
it's a big tent.
It's the kind of thing that you go to and you expect when you walk in, you expect to see like tables with stuff on.
Yeah, like a farmer's market or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I know tent.
Yeah, it's huge, man. It's huge, but it's awesome. Cool. It's such a cool vibe in there because it's this massive tent with like 5,000 people in it, but it just feels like a big club. That
sounds cool. Then I can get with that.
Oh yeah, I saw Suicidals there a couple of years ago, and it's like, yeah, it was they absolutely stole the day.
That's what I'm learning, like slowly figuring out with all these, like, because this is our first run through Europe, and this is obviously the first time we ever played like big festivals or anything like that. So we're kind of the festivals that we played in the US, like United Blood. It wasn't like the biggest year ever. I think it was like maybe 600 or 700 people packed in like a really small club, or like we played Not Dead Yet Fest in Toronto. That was a solid crowd too, but like I've noticed with the flyers for like these big festivals, like the pecking order of stages and stuff, like everyone gets like microscopically small, but like that stage fits 20,000 people, so it's not like there's no chagrin about playing the smallest stage or anything, because it's still huge.
yeah, absolutely. And it's like everything else as well. You work your way up. I mean, we headlined the stage that you're going to be playing in 2016, and then 5 years later, it's main stage. And then when we eventually get round to putting another album out, hopefully it'll be main stage, and you're further up the bill. I mean, it's no different to any other job, is it? You don't start at the top. You get promoted.
Yeah, you get promoted. That's basically it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
totally. And the rest of the tour is technically, like, all the club dates are technically a headlining tour because we're the only one on tour.
Well, yeah,
so headlining, like de facto headlining. But so it seems like it's like everything's going to be this really big deal, and in the back of my head, like I'm like, that worries me, because being like, it seems like a lot of responsibility and I don't want to do it. But I know at the end of the day it'll be fine, like there's nothing to fret or worry about. or like be nervous or anxious about. Just act like it's any other show, and that's how it's going to play out.
Well,
Unless something catastrophic happens.
well,
But
I'm just
I don't want to
looking
think
at,
about that.
well, I'm just looking at your dates, and I'm not sure you're playing. If you are playing Bloodstock, right. Basically, you start in London. Great idea, at the Black Heart. Then you're playing. Then you're playing Leicester, the Uprising Festival, which we've played.
Oh yeah,
many
Uprising.
times.
That was the other one. Yeah.
Yeah, we've played, and that's a great festival. Simon there will make sure you have a lovely time. Glasgow Audio, you are gonna fucking love. It's a sweat box that holds 150 people. Your feet stick to the floor. The stage is only about 2 feet off the ground. They go fucking mental. Even
see, that's why that's where I thrive in little black boxes.
And
that's what I like.
Yeah, that's going to be an absolute blast, man. I mean, Audio Glasgow is like that's like our home in Scotland. So
hell yeah,
you're going to love that. You're going to love that.
I'll have to get some Buckfast. I've heard great things.
Oh, don't worry. There's plenty. I can make sure there's plenty of people who will meet you.
I think it probably runs off Buckfast. So like, I think it's a alternative vehicle fuel for cars at this point.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be pretty easy to find.
When you they'll give you a buyout. They don't do catering, but they'll give you a buyout. And just head out into the centre of Glasgow. Just say to people, "Can you tell me where Tony Macaroni's is?" Okay, and you got to go.
Tony Macaroni's.
You got to go to Tony Macaroni, and it's just like, yeah.
Now, who is this macaroni man?
Well, it's basically it's an Italian restaurant, but it's a Scottish Italian restaurant. Okay.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah. And I think there's there's like Tony Macaroni sponsors one of the Scottish it sponsors one of the Scottish football teams, and it sponsors their stadium.
Okay, that's probably why I've heard of it before.
Right.
I haven't heard of it, but I'm like, that name sounds really familiar.
Well,
is it Rangers?
No. I honestly don't know who it is, but they there's a nickname for it because the Arsenal have their stadiums called the Etihad. And Man City is pretty much the same because they've got the same sponsor. It's like the Etihad. And the Scottish team, where their team is sponsored, it's called the Tony Macaroni Stadium, but all the fans call it the Spaghetti Had.
The Spaghetti Hut. Okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
So, yeah. It's but it is you've got to check out Tony Macaroni's anyway.
Absolutely. I will write that down. I will tell everyone and they'll be pumped. We're going to Tony Macaroni's.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I got a tip from somebody. And they're like, who the hell gave you a tip for Glasgow? I was like, we're going to Tony Macaroni's, man. Like, I heard it's the jam.
Yeah, absolutely. Always make sure I eat that. And halfway through the set, I'm always thinking I shouldn't have fucking eaten so much.
Oh, of course. You know.
Yeah.
Luckily, I got really good at that. I would just eat just if I'm feeling peckish, like I'll just nibble on something.
Yeah.
And then so I have plenty of room for beer, and then that's my main fuel. And then I'll eat after everything's over with.
Yeah, eat after the show is always a good idea, unless you're headlining, and when after the show means pretty much everything's shut, and so you have
1 o'clock in the morning. Yeah,
and you just go into fucking shithole McDonald's and Burger King and shit like that.
Yep. Truck stops and stuff.
Yeah, fight your way through drunk people to get to to get to the queue, to get to the counter, and it's just like, oh god.
Yeah, fight your way through me because I'm buying all the chicken nuggets.
yeah, absolutely. So have you started? I think I might have asked you this before on email. Have you started work on the new album, or you started writing and shit like that?
Mm-hmm. We started writing it pretty much right after Kilgrid. I mean, because once it was out, we kind of chilled out for maybe a week or two on practicing, and then we started practicing once a week and writing once a week. So we practice on Wednesdays and then write on Thursdays, and usually I kind of stay away from the writing. I just kind of let them do what they want, and then they'll send me roughs, and then I'll start writing lyrics for it and stuff. But it got to it didn't get to a point or anything, but they were like, you should come to a writing practice. And I was like, yeah, sure. So I went, and like, I had a little bit of input, but like nothing like massive. I mean, all the songs are pretty different. If you're looking for like another Kilgrid, you're not going to get it. Which is, I think, is good. If we did the same album twice, it's kind of boring. It's a lot faster. The fight parts are really fighty. I'd say the songs are a lot more aggressive, but in a completely different like feel or way that Kilgrid was or is, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just like aggressive music, so that's what we write.
But also
that's just pretty much it.
But also, like, you know, with the first album, you have those songs kicking around for a while, and
a long time. Yeah.
You know, and it's like, right, okay, we've got those out the way. And it's, for me, I always think it's like the second album kind of reveals who the band really is, you know?
In terms of like change, I guess, but like the second one, the sophomore, to me is always like, that's the make or break one. But for whatever reason, everyone, well, not everyone, a lot of people assume that At the Walls is the debut, when it's really kind of isn't.
Yeah.
Because it's mostly old stuff.
Yeah.
So everyone thought like, oh, Kilgrid is this like banging sophomore album. And you're just like, oh, sure. But it's really it really, I guess, technically is the first LP.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, there's still a huge demand for At the Walls, which I didn't realize. And it's on its second or third pressing now. And Andrew Klein, who runs War Records, he came to our show in LA with 2 huge boxes of LPs. He's like, these are all yours, go at it. And
wow,
we lost I think a box and a half, not lost, but sold a box and a half in like 2 weeks.
That's awesome.
I know, for something that, but I guess it's been out of pressing for about a year and some change. So as we've, I guess, been promoted, metaphorically, no one has it. All of our newer fans don't have it. So I mean, like every night after we play, I would jump off stage and run to the merch table and start, trying to sell shit, and push shit. And 9 times out of 10, if someone's buying an LP, they bought both. So I was just like, that's awesome. So we were churning through records this tour, and I got to sign a lot of them, which I always love. I think that's so cool. Coming from like a DIY punk background, where like you play houses and you play record stores and that's about it, or like bad bars near the airport, like there ain't no signing anything. There's no signing. Like who wants your signature? You're a piece of shit. So like that's always in my head. Like I never expect it to happen when someone's like, hey, can you like sign my LP? I'm just like, thank you. I signed a boob, Howard.
Your first boob. Oh, my son. It's a moment in the career. It's one you'll never forget. I remember my first boob.
I was very respectful.
Absolutely.
I was like, how do you want me to hold it?
Yeah.
She's like, you can do whatever you want, honey. And I was like, oh God. All right. Well, I'll just go from the top, not from the bottom like a creep. And just kind of spread it. I didn't do like the boob. I did like a top boob.
Yeah, you did the gentleman's signature.
I did, the gentleman's boob sign.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I just did that and just like I'm gonna get it tattooed. I was like, you better not get that tattooed on your boob.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
my mother would disown me.
You can imagine the story. She's with some guy, and he's like,
Knox.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's a like singer in a band called Enforce.
Oh,
It's
it's a
like
singer in a band.
great.
It's not
I've got
my
it.
it's not
Yeah,
my ex or anything.
yeah. It's
It's
like
just some guy.
yeah. Every time. So you mean every time that we're in bed, I'm gonna be looking at his signature. You
I
know?
know you're gonna be thinking of me, which is I don't want.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't like that at all. It's funny,
Uh,
but
but did you find what did you find between was it more autographs than selfies, or was it the other way around, or what?
it was a lot of both. More
Yeah.
autographs than no. I It was about even. I think the photographs were more like prescient, I would say. Like the people who wanted to take pictures were like really young kids.
Yeah.
Like the last show that was in Richmond, there was like an 8-year-old child there. But he had his own like battle jacket, like covered in patches, really
Yeah.
long hair.
Yeah.
And as I was like walking to the my mom was there. So we're trying to cut through a sold out crowd from the front of the stage. So I got my mom's hand and I'm trying to cut through everybody. And then I just hear, hey buddy, like that's the singer. And I just hear like this little kid voice, like, holy shit. And I turned around and I see this like kid and he sees me and he's like bug eyed. I'm like, hey, what's up, man? Did you have fun? And he was just like, yeah. I was like, that's cool. That's awesome. And his dad, who's obviously like the guy who's pushing him to go to these shows, he starts to fanboy out and starts freaking out. It's like, can you take a picture of my son? I was like, yeah, of course. Like, I have no problem. I was like, Mom, can you just hang out for a little bit? And she was like blushing. She was
Oh,
like,
she must have been so proud.
oh my God. Oh,
Yeah.
that was fun just
Yeah.
to see her reaction to everybody and everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, she was giddy because she got the Decibel magazine that like I'm on the cover of and everything. And she's been bringing it to work. And she was telling me, she was like, I sling this thing out whenever I can and I shove it in people's faces. and, and you're just like, you don't have to do that. And she does it to strangers. She's like, she'll just walk, she'll like go to lunch or something and like she'll be waiting in line and she'll just tap the person in front of her and be like, do you listen to metal? That's my son. And just and they're like, okay, like cool, that's awesome, good for you.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm so proud of him. And yeah, so when she finally got like to see us, because she hasn't seen us since we like played in front of nobody, so that was like 5-6 years ago. And so she hated it then. I'm sure she hated it now, but she was much more proud
Yeah.
of like the promotions, as we keep saying, like
Absolutely. Yeah.
that's a good promotion.
Well, you know, you
So
put in
she was just elated.
She came and saw you, you know, doing your apprenticeship. You're doing a night shift where there's no customers, you know.
Yeah, I'm working the graveyard at a 7-Eleven.
Absolutely, yeah. Playing to no one, and then you know she comes and sees where you've been. You know, you've been put on a proper gig, and you know you you got a decent spot on the bill, and there's plenty of customers, and you're getting paid and getting your name out.
We played first that show. Doors were at 6. We got on at 7. In 1 hour, they got 750 people through the door.
Wow, that's
bonkers.
That's awesome.
I've seen sold out shows at that place, and it was not nearly as packed as that. Like, so I'm like, they must have gone over capacity like by a lot.
Wow.
It's sold out
That's
just
amazing.
with pre-sales. So I mean, they were probably just letting people in at some point. There's no way. There's no way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fucking great. And she was, after a while, she helped me do merch for a little bit, which was cute. And then after a while, Will, our guitarist, he takes over and does the rest of the night. So we went out to the patio, and I was just trying to hang out with my mom, but people kept like bombarding me and stuff. So after a while, she's like, I'm gonna get out of here. I was like, come on, like I'm with my mom.
Yeah.
Can you all like leave me be? She
yeah,
was like, no, I think it's cool. It's
yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Like,
I'm gonna leave
go
you
do
to
it.
I'm gonna leave you to your public, darling.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was like, there's obviously there's a like I'm trying to talk to her about like bodily functions and stuff because my mom doesn't have a filter, so she'll just say whatever. So and I don't either when it comes to talking to her, so we'll just talk about anything.
Yeah.
So I'm having this conversation about bodily functions with my mom, and then she was like, that's when she was like, hey, I gotta go. I was like, what'd I say? She was like, no, there's a line behind you, like trying to
Oh.
talk to you. And I was like, ah, shit. I was like, I looked at her with those like puppy dog eyes, like, is it okay? And
Yeah.
she was like, yeah, it's fine. Like, I
Yeah.
was like, well, can I walk you to your car? She's like, you're not gonna have time.
Yeah.
Like, they're all
She's
gonna follow you.
and she's
And
at
I was like,
she's at work. She's at work the following day, saying to everybody, "Well, I didn't stay at the show because there was a queue of people wanting to talk to my
oh,
son."
I know, but I thought of that late, like about 30 minutes later, once I finally like, handshaked and like signed stuff and took pictures with everybody. After a while, I was like, cool. Like, man, it sucks my mom left and kind of, it seemed like a huff at the time. But then I was like, she is going to gloat about this moment for years.
Absolutely,
So
yeah.
fine. It's fine.
Oh, that's
She doesn't.
awesome.
I talked to her once I finally got home, and like after a few days of like decompressing, I gave her a call and
Yeah.
I apologized for that. And she was just like, I don't care. I thought it was awesome. I was like, all right, cool. At least we're all on the same page.
Yeah, but do you know we're very similar like that. I always it's like with family, with friends, they come to see you because loads of people say, "Oh, we'll be there," and they don't turn up. And then so when people turn up, it's like you want to give them your time, and you can't. And I feel so bad about it. And they're like,
But
"It's
times that
fine,
by
it's
like
fine."
100 people, it sucks. You're just like, especially
Yes.
when you're playing like the hometown show after a month of being on the road with all these like huge and like larger than life characters and bands. You're just like, I want to hang out with them because it's the last night and I don't know if I'm ever going to see you again. I also want to hang out with all of my friends who I haven't seen in a long time that live here. I also want to hang out with all the people who I haven't seen in years who drove hours to come.
Yeah.
And there's like, you can't split yourself three ways.
Yeah.
And people really don't like it. They don't like it.
Yeah.
They just feel shit on. And you're just like, especially with the local people, I was like, dude, I'll see you in like, there's a show, like there's like a house show in a week. I'm going to be there. We can hang out there. Like, or you can come over and we can hang out on the porch like I'm doing right now. Like,
yeah.
We can do all these things. Like tonight doesn't have to be the night.
But sometimes I think, and I'm not generalizing, but sometimes I think there is a certain type of friend that they want the reflected glory. They want to be stood there talking to you, saying like, "Hey, you see this? Yeah, we're buddies, we're friends."
I find that sad, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah,
like because like who the fuck am I? Like, I'm just some guy.
Yeah,
like. No one like if this is what's it called, cynical, and I don't mean it to be, but it is true. Like I was around 6 months ago yet and you ignored my phone calls then, like now you want to jump on my balls. You're just like, nah. Like I'll try and be as kind as I can, and I'll always be kind and courteous to even fucking mortal enemies. But like you gotta just the fandom part of it is so like glaringly obvious to the point where it's just like kind of disgusting. It's just like you don't it coming from friends, you're just like, that's not why this isn't why we're friends. We're friends because we love each other.
Yes.
Not this. Like our friendship in our lives is not you liking my band. It's something more personal or whatever. So I always found that strange.
I one thing I noticed, I mean, I come from a small town, and when we first kind of blew up and had albums out and stuff like that, some people's attitude changes towards you your attitude doesn't change to them, but their attitude changes towards you, which I've always thought
absolutely.
is really fucking odd.
Yeah, it's creepy.
Yeah.
Because you can perceive it. They don't usually perceive it. So they're like, I mean, I love all the love and support. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like shitting all over the people who are supporting, what we're like, our promotions. Like, that's awesome to get more of a wellspring of like home support. I'll never shit on that. But on a personal level, it's very odd when someone that you've talked to like maybe 2 or 3 times, they don't give you the time of day. All of a sudden, they're jumping on your back, acting like you're your best friend. You're just like, I don't know you like that. Why are you being weird?
Yeah.
And it's just, maybe I'm just being super cynical. Maybe they're just really excited for me and they're just really happy. I mean,
yeah,
that's a possibility, but not in my experience. It usually isn't.
Yeah, I also think some people like to just fuck with you and just test you. It's like, to see if he has changed. And the difference between,
I didn't even think about it like that. Maybe they are. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, well, you never know what goes on in people.
I failed the test. I hope I failed the test.
But
I don't want to.
You just never know what goes on in people's heads. I mean, I always said it's like, look, a year ago, if I walked down the street and you shouted Howard and I didn't hear you and kept walking, you'd be like, oh, he didn't hear me. But now I have an album out and I'm walking down the street and you shout Howard and I didn't hear you. Yo, fucking asshole.
Yeah, he's changed.
Yeah. No, he still can't hear you. That's what's happening.
Still can't hear you.
Yeah.
I don't wear earplugs. I can't hear you.
But it's just, especially when you especially coming from a small town, I think. But also, the flip side of that as well is I think there's a real kind of pride as well,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that is really cool,
Yeah, I mean, excuse me. I think at least for Richmond, he churns out really high quality bands, and the whole underground scene is really tight knit. So for a band like Municipal Waste, who blew up and has been huge for such a long time, I don't want to speak out of turn. That's not the point. But for being a band who plays like hardcore shows and house shows and stuff, to get like catapulted to something far bigger than that, I think everyone really wanted it and is like really happy to see it. So that's something new, especially for me because I'm the one doing it. So it's all just new to me. Yeah. It's exciting for all of my like peers and everyone I go to shows with and all my friends. So I don't know, it's just new and exciting. It's a bold new, brave new world out there.
Yes.
And where I'm trying to navigate it and trying to relay it back to people at home to like see what to expect or know what to expect if and when they ever get to tour on like a Decibel Tour magazine, or like help them with touring if they ever need to go to like the West Coast or something like that.
Yeah,
like who to talk to and what to do, blah 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 blah. So it's all just, I don't know, it's just unknown territory to me. So I'm looking at everything with like the biggest eyes and being like, wow, this is incredible. And my eyes are only going to get bigger when we finally get to Europe, where I'm playing in front of 40,000 people. I'm just like,
dude, it's going to be another level. It's going to be another level because you're going to be playing to all of these bigger crowds. You're going to be in countries where they don't speak English. You're going to be trying all this different food and shit like that. And then when you come back from that, that's like, that's going to take like a good week to decompress, because it's I'll
never look at a Big Mac the same. I love you, but I also hate you.
Yeah, you'll be traveling around Europe, seeing all of the delights that all of these countries have given the world, and all the different cuisine, and then you'll be coming home and going like, "Yep, there's ribs and a burger."
Yeah, Subway sandwiches. Really? Like, come on. Like,
Hey,
Someone's got to step it up.
biggest
Honestly, that might be a good thing. I'll just eat at home and I'll make my own shit. And
Oh yeah,
that's
man.
that's probably better for me anyway. So
Oh yeah. I mean, but the good thing is, though, it's like this will be your first trip. Years down the line, European tour after European tour, it'd be like, oh, cool. We're going to Denmark. They have elephant beer. I cannot wait. And it's like all the little
Mhm,
things you pick up on. You're like, well, this will be here when I get back again.
mhm.
So it's like,
Is the elephant your beer you're talking about? Is that the Chinese beer, Qingtao?
no, unfortunately, elephant beer no longer exists.
Oh,
It,
okay.
it used to, it was made by Heineken, and you could only get it in Europe. You could only get it in like Germany, Holland, Denmark. We couldn't get it in the UK. So when I did
That
my
sounds like
first,
something I want now.
oh, dude, it was
Now that it's gone.
7.8%.
Dear God.
And it tasted like slightly stronger Heineken, but it tasted really good.
Mhm.
And yet it's like, so, but the thing is, because the bottle looked kind of similar, it had an elephant on it, but because it was made by
Okay.
Heineken, it was like a little green bottle, and it had that familiar look to it. So you'd be like, yeah, I'm killing it. And then after like
Mhm.
three, you'd be like, whoa, this is not three beers in, this,
Yeah.
and you
Have
learn
you
very
ever
quickly.
have you ever had Red Horse, the Filipino beer?
God, Red Horse.
The label, it's just a brown bottle, red label, horseshoe with a horse like profile on it. It just says Red Horse. It
No, I
it's
haven't.
like that. I think it's like 7.5 or 8%. You have three of them,
Yeah.
you're like, you can light my breath on fire. Like,
Fuck me.
oh, you get a 6-pack, you're waking up in jail or in the bathroom. Like, it's it is a lot to handle. But
Yeah,
it's
that
like
sounds like
it's
it.
cheap, but like it's just a basic beer. You drink it, and it's not like really, what's it called, ethanol or like alcohol-y. Like you don't
Yeah.
really taste it on your breath or anything. You're just like, this is just tastes like a like a High Life or like a Budweiser or something, and it just knocks you on your ass. You're just like, oh God.
Oh man, that is some serious stuff.
Stairs become a challenge. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
something else. Yeah, you start looking at stairs differently. Like, buddy, I don't think I could do it.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna happen.
So you must be at that stage as well, where now when you're looking at, when you're saying you're writing, and like, you're looking at, you're going to be looking at recording another album. It's like, right, okay, like, let's get this shit done, because this is another excuse to go on tour. You
Yeah,
get
and I'm also trying to find an excuse to quit my job and do this full
yes.
time. And
Yeah, yeah.
obviously I'm the closest I've ever been. We got offered to do a tour that starts in about a week, and we got asked when we were playing in Baltimore, so like not even 2 weeks ago. Excuse me. Go, Duke, you gotta go, man. my dog is just begging for attention, and it's like, dude, I'm focused.
He
Um,
wants to be on Zoom, yeah.
I mean, I can show it. Hold on. How do I do this?
Oh,
Yeah,
good
there he
work.
is, just being weird.
Hey, Duke.
He's just sunbathing. And there's Mac.
Oh
He's
man.
he's a piece of ham, dude. He's huge.
Yeah.
Good boy though.
Wow.
Anyway,
Yeah. Anyway,
sorry.
that's right.
We got distracted again. I apologize.
Dude, you're talking to somebody with
Oh,
ADHD. It's not a problem.
yeah. So I get it when there's a dog around. I'm just like, so what are we talking about? New album?
Yeah, about an excuse to go on tour, and you being close to quitting
Oh
your
yeah,
job.
we were getting, like, we got another tour offer while we were on tour, and it would have started 3 weeks after that tour ended. And I think everyone was kind of like, yeah, I want to, but
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
been gone for a month. Me personally, I'm the only one that's single, so I don't have like relationships or girlfriends to like need FaceTime.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And like, I mean, I have my dogs who missed me a lot. Like, I got bombarded when I got home, but like, they don't get it, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Right. And so me and I think our bassist Ethan at first were like, yeah, let's do it. Like we should. Let's go. And then I was like, ooh, I should tell work, because work has always been telling me, yeah, you can tour whenever you want. Just make sure that like we had to hire someone else. So while I'm gone, stuff still gets done.
Yeah.
And so I was like, hey, just want to let you know, like once I get back, I'm only going to be back for a month, and then I'm leaving again for another month. And they said, no.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, should I quit right now? Do I feel comfortable enough doing that and try and force everyone else to go on this tour? Or should we just bide our time, probably work on the record more? And then, because we have like a peppering of shows up until June. And it's just like, maybe we should just focus on that and like save money.
Yeah. As boring as it sounds.
As boring as it sounds. And that's what really killed me and our bassist, was just like, that sounds so boring. Of just going to work, saving money, sitting at home, waiting. Because we've done that so much. Like the past 2 years has just been waiting, just sitting and waiting. And the last tour that we did with Exhumed was like so sick, because we were finally back on the road. We're finally playing shows again. We're finally, like getting the machine back up and running after being disabled for so long. So it's just like, no, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. And now it's just like, okay, I think we can like coast for a little bit. And before the really big roller coaster part hits, like the big ball of track is spinning all over the place, which is going to be Europe from like June until like mid-September. So I was like, maybe we should kind of dial it back just a little bit. So like by the time, I don't know, July 15th rolls around, just some random day, I'm not completely burnt out and like don't care anymore, but I still have to do stuff until September. So it's just like, oh man, like that's when I'll start to hate it, and then I'll start to get resentful and everything, and that's not good. So maybe we should just kind of hang out and have a good time and enjoy the stasis.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and the thing is, as well, is it's not the last tour you're going to be offered.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
So it's just like, dude, this isn't the end of the world. Like, I mean, I wish we could have done it, but it was super short notice. It was a tour, Gate Creepers headlining tour that they're about to go on. We got asked to do that.
Right.
So we were just like, and that was the hardest part, because we've been touring for a month together and we're really good friends now. So then they're asking like, hey, can you play this too? And you're like, I don't want to break your heart, baby. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I hope this doesn't affect our friendship or anything.
Yeah. Like, it's not you, it's me.
Yeah. And they're like, no, it's fine. Like, I mean, it sucks. We would love to be on the road with you for forever, but it's just not in the cards. And I was just like, yeah, it sucks. But hopefully post Europe, I can really just cut ties with an actual job and just do remedial stuff and just dumb stuff around town. Because I mean, I'm a handyman and I have HVAC certification, so I can make money fixing houses and stuff. So it's not like I can't make money. I have skills.
Good with your hands, man.
Yeah, great with my hands.
Yeah, well, and you'll never be out of work that way. It's like,
ideally. I keep shifting with the sun. It's moving out of my distance.
And if you're not in the sun, you're going to be fucking cold.
Oh, it's brutally cold. Like, just in the shade, it's completely different. I feel great right here. But over there, I was like, half my body was ice cold. But I'm good. I'm good right here.
And presumably as well, you when you're over in Europe and especially the festivals, you're going to be playing festivals where there's going to be plenty of bands you want to see as well. You know,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like people
Oh,
forget.
yeah.
People forget that it's like it's like you're in a band because you're a huge fan, and then you get to play with
Mhm.
loads of bands that you're fans of. It's like, yeah, it's a dream, isn't it? It is the dream.
That's the crazy part, because I assumed, like, I don't know why I assumed this. I just thought, like, let's take Hellfest for as a perfect example. We're playing like the second biggest stage or whatever, the first day. I assume they let you in, you play, and then you leave. Why I thought that, I don't know.
Yeah,
But you're locked in for that day. You
yeah,
don't leave.
yeah,
So I was like, oh, well, who's playing all these other stages at like what times? And like, as I've been told, the backstage is a whole back lot where all the bands hang out.
awesome.
So I
Yeah.
was like, well, who am I going to be around? And it's just like looking at the lineup, I was like, oh my God, like, why? Why? I shouldn't be here, kind of thing.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the total, what's it called?
Imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome. Yeah, I have that all the time. Speaking of which, on tour when we played Sacramento, Gary Holt came.
I know Gary
And
very well. Yeah.
I do not. But they were trying to, like, like the venue was like, dude, if everyone knows that Gary Holt's here, they're gonna freak the fuck out. So like we had to like rope off a section for him and his wife, and like security's got to be like pretty high, because I mean he's in fucking Exodus and Slayer, like what the fuck. So I was like, okay, be cool, like be really cool. And we started playing, and like halfway through the set, that's when we have like a tuning break. So I'm just saying thank you to everybody, and I yell to start the second part of the set off, and then I get in my head, I'm like, I wonder where he's at. And I'm like doing all these shout outs and like screams and stuff, and I'm going like this so I can cut through the lights and try and find him.
Yeah.
Like a fucking nerd. And then I finally see him, and he's like banging his head. I'm like, oh my God, like,
Awesome.
Gary fucking Holt. It's Gary fucking
Yeah.
Holt, dude. And then I get real nervous. I'm like, no, you're nervous. You got to shake the shit off. So I ramp it up like tenfold.
Yeah.
And go off stage like wiped. I got to go do merch, but I'm like, dude, I got to catch my breath because I just like went way too hard in the paint.
Yeah, because the adrenaline took over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's over. I'm like, God, kill me.
Yeah.
So in walks from the backstage, or like the green room, Gary Holt walks in, and I'm like right there with like a towel over my head, and I like look up, and I'm face to face with my man. And he was like, yo, that set was sick. And I just started busting out laughing like a weirdo.
Yeah.
And he just kind of looks at me like, okay, he's pretty weird. Because I just couldn't believe it. I was just like, why is any of this happening? And I just started laughing. And he was like, where's Obituary? And I just pointed. Like, there was like a 2-tiered green room. So I was like, they're up there.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, cool. Well, good set. And I was like, thank you. Like, I probably came off like such a jackass, but I was just like so like fanboy starstruck that I couldn't I could not laugh because I just thought the entire scenario was so absurd.
Well,
this would never happen.
These are the moments, man. These are the moments where
where you ruin it. Yeah, these are the moments where you blow it.
Oh, dude, you're talking to the king of blowing it. I've said some of the most stupid things to some of my, my heroes.
I have as well. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I have blown it a lot. I met Rob Flynn from Machine Head.
Yeah,
really cool guy. We talked for like 30 minutes. Very down to earth. Very easy to talk to. Met a ton of people from Pestilence, Devastation. Like a lot of old heads came out, and that was really cool to meet all these, pioneers and like I put on like pedestals. That was really cool.
And also that the other thing about that as well is when like you call it, when the old heads come out, they come out for a reason. They don't go see everyone.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I think having obituary headlining kind of helps, but
yeah, a little bit, yeah,
having me play first also a huge plus.
yeah.
So, and obituary was also super cool. Like, hey, Enforced is playing. Let's go watch Enforced. So
That's awesome.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's very cool.
Terry Butler was a super cool guy, very down to earth.
Yeah.
Kenny Andrews, who plays guitar for them now, he's a monster. I love him so much. And Trevor, I've shared a jar of pickles with Trevor. That was really cool. The man loves pickles. I mean, it's fine. Whatever.
You just imagine sitting down with your grandchildren. Let me tell you about the time me and Trevor we shared a jar of pickles.
We shared a jar of pickles, whole pickles, no spears. We ate 19 pickles.
Yeah, whole pickles, none of your sliced pickles, mate. Whole pickles.
We're talking whole pickles. You ever eat 19 pickles with a metal legend?
Yeah,
but you haven't.
Yeah.
It's just stupid shit. I mean, it's all just. It sounds so ridiculous in my head. It sounds like a Mad Lib or something.
Yeah,
but but those things actually happened. So it's just like, wow, like it's life is fun. I'll put it that way. Life is strange.
Absolutely, and it's just such a fucking great existence being on the road and all this. And it's like to me, as much as I like crafting an album and writing it and putting it together and recording it and see it go out there, and it's like that is really, really satisfying. But for me, the ultimate thing is playing live, because you don't get to stand in someone's bedroom and see what they think to the album, but you do get to stand on stage and see what someone thinks to that fucking song.
Right.
It's like an overdose.
But like it all starts with the craft of the album. If you write a bunk stepped on album, then you'll see what they think when you play live.
yeah, absolutely.
In there.
Absolutely.
So it's just like I want to have the best live experience. Obviously, what band doesn't? But it starts with the album. If you have good material, then you shouldn't have an issue.
Well, one begets the other.
Yeah, like if I want the crowd to be super energetic, I have to write really energetic songs. And like, so if I want the whole place to be circle pitting, you got to write the riff that will get every single body moving.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hard to do. I haven't figured it out. We haven't figured it out, but like close.
Absolutely. And the thing is, ultimately, you just you do what you do, you hone your craft, you get better at it. That's a given. You get better at it, like anything that you do more of, anything that you practice, you get better. And ultimately people go on that, they go on that ride with you. And you pick up people along the way and you lose people along the way. But that's the other thing as well, is like,
that's the sad part.
You'll be making friends on these tours and on these European tours, and in years to come, it'll be like, oh, we're playing Berlin. Klaus is coming down. Oh, great! It'd be good to see him again. That's
how every day of that tour, of the last tour, was, because I was like, who do I know in Sacramento? I know somebody. I know somebody that lives like nearby. Like, do you want to go? He's like, yeah, I'll go. He's like, all right, cool. Fill up the guest list with people who might go. But then after a while, you're just like, wow, like I know somebody everywhere. And it's like, that's weird. That's so weird.
Yeah, it is. But it's that nomadic existence that is like, it's so appealing. It's so appealing. It's like whenever I came back off tour, like first question from anyone is like, oh, you glad to be home? I was like, nope, wish I was still away.
Yeah. That was the first thing my mom asked me, like where I was done selling merch and I was trying to like talk to her. She was like, so you glad to be home? And I almost cried. I was like, no, this sucks. Like, this sucks so much. And she was pissed because she was like, I'm here. What the
I
hell?
had the very same thing with my mum. Exactly the same thing. Yeah.
And it's like, it's not you, it's the experience. Yeah. Like,
yeah.
Yes, I'm sad it's over. Like,
it's like I've just got off the roller coaster and you are stood right next to the ride going, are you happy to be off? No.
Yeah.
But I'm here. But have you seen this?
Yeah. Have you seen the roller coaster? Have you ridden on it? And I hate roller coasters, but I understand the metaphor. But yeah, it's just like the first week always feels like this is never going to end. And you look at like the tour pass, like the All Access pass, you're like, how the hell are we going to get through this? But after like week 2, you're just like looking at the dates starting to dwindle. There's like the back there, you're gone into single digits, and then the vibe changes in the room. Like when everyone's setting up and sound checking, and they're just like, someone will just say it. It's like, I don't want this to end. And you're just like, shut up, dude. Don't even bring it up.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
we're all
right.
feeling it. We're all feeling it. Just like bottle it.
Yeah. We're all feeling it. We're all men. We all know better than to talk about it, for God's sake.
Yeah. Don't ever know. No. Keep your pain private. I don't want to know about it.
Like, do the decent thing and have a cardiac arrest at 38.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Have a heart attack, please. Like, Jesus, just leave me out of it. But I guess ipso facto, I'm somewhat involved in the heart attack. So like, I guess it's my fault if they have one. But
I get it though. I get it. It is. It's like I know exactly what you mean. It's like, looking at those list of dates that beforehand, you summed it up. How the hell are we going to do this? And then before you know,
like, dude, this is never going to hit. And then it does. You're just like, what happened? I can't even remember anything.
Yeah. Before you know it, it's like, oh fuck, there's like 3 dates left.
Yeah. And then I'm trying to I'm looking at the card, looking at like certain dates and stuff. I'm like, I don't even remember doing that. Like, I can't even tell you what the stage looked like or like the green room. It was just all such a blur and so fast, it seems, that like you're just kind of in and out like lightning, and you just don't remember, which sucks. Because like some dates, some people, like the people that you meet along the way, I didn't even remember them, and they're like, hey, remember me? I'm like, no. Like, I've never seen you in my life.
Yeah.
And they're like, you stayed at my house. I'm like, oh my God. Like, I'm so sorry. I'm in a weird space right now.
Fact.
That you didn't know I might be.
Yeah. How deep are you into writing, by the way? Have you got many songs? Really?
Almost done.
Wow.
We wanted to do Will's goal, which I think is a noble one, is to really make it the most lean machine possible. So I think we're looking at 8 songs, just 4 on the front, 4 on the back, done.
Wow.
So I think we've got 6 of the 8.
Right. Okay.
I have lyrics for 6 or 5 or 6. I don't know. But going back to what you were talking about earlier, like honing the craft and everything, I've gotten a lot better at writing, a whole lot better. I mean, it took me about 2 weeks to write 6 songs, but it wasn't nearly like the drudgery of writing all the Kill Grid stuff. Like, to put it in, I don't know what terms I could put it in, but like, I go down like really dark and I become like a really fucked up person. And then I write all the stuff, and then it's written and recorded. And then I have to like escape the hole that I've dug. And that sucks. That really sucked. It took like 2 months for Kill Grid. I did not feel very good about it.
Yeah.
Because all the topics are super dark. But this one is darker. And it was kind of easy. I was like, oh, I already dug the hole and I built the ladder. So you just jump down there and kind of hang around and like, okay, I'm done. And then climb back out and it's fine.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's better. I actually write about personal stuff for the first time ever.
Right.
So
that's a big thing. That's a big thing. Yeah.
That's very new to me. Because I don't do it, because I don't like to talk about myself, because it's like, who's going to relate? Like,
dude,
it's just about me.
Everybody will relate, because until you go personal, you don't realize how many other people
have gone through the same thing.
I've gone through the same thing. And also, I think when you're tracking it in the studio, it will resonate a lot more with, you won't just be vocalizing it, you'll be feeling it as well. Not that you weren't previously, but in a different.
I know you mean.
But yeah. It's because it's coming from in here. It's
yeah. Well, it all comes from inside in some way. But like I'll put it this way, like I did a whole lot of research for Kill Grid. For this one, I did a whole lot of reading, not necessarily like historical research to write the lyrics. I read a lot of Stoic philosophy, so it all stems from kind of that, and then personal experiences where that Stoicism fails pretty much because it's too emotional of a situation for you to like shut down completely. And if you were, you'd be in my opinion, you'd be a monster to not feel like any emotion and think completely rationally at something at like a very emotional time in your life. Yeah. So it's stuff like that, which says nothing.
Well, I sum it up very simply. I think we don't all, but I think you and I started out writing about how I think, and then as time goes on, you write about how you feel. Because
that's how I think gets boring. You've done it already.
Well, but also it's external. It's like I think about that or that or that, and then you flip it.
Oh, I see what you mean.
When it's internal, that's more interesting and it's more rewarding as well.
I think so, because like going back to the Stoicism thing, like I do love, appreciate, and like try and follow Stoicism to a certain degree. I don't agree with all of it, but there's a lot of similarities between Stoicism and Taoism, which I thought was really interesting. So I was going back and forth between Stoicism and Taoism and seeing these similarities. I was like, well, if I write about two different cultures that kind of came to the same like endpoint, if I write about that, I could probably appeal to a large majority of people because it's kind of underlying through a lot of cultures. So I tried to keep it like funneled into that aspect, but then after a while, and like I said, like things were happening, so I was like, and that's like the really grim shit is like, you're going through this very cloudy, dark like time mentally and physically, and the worst thing hits your head is, this would be a great song. Like, no, don't put it like that. And then you're like, the snowball starts right there, and you're like, oh no, like I'm really gonna have to write about this person and they're not gonna know about it. Like, oh no, like, well, I hope they like it. Like I can't not. I pulled a lot from this, experience or whatever, and I have to write about it.
Yeah, but
while someone won't think twice about the whole thing.
But that's the beauty. But that's the beauty of. That's the beauty of what you do. This is part of the benefit. Is that
true.
Is that you get that right to reply. You get that way of getting the pain out, and that way of getting something out of your head and onto paper, for want of a better expression. But it doesn't take it out of your head, and it's still there, but it helps. And the minute you do that is the minute you create something that helps somebody else, because they read it and they go, oh, right. I'm not the only one then.
Oh no. To not give anything away, which I'm giving everything away. I think a lot of people can resonate it from the last couple of years. So that's like, I think everyone can relate to it. Even though I have a number one rule for any band: do not write a song about COVID.
Yes,
Ever.
absolutely.
Ever.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
We don't want to hear it. No one wants to hear it.
Don't want to hear it. Thank you very much.
Don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Shut up.
There's movies coming out all the time about like pandemic. I'm like, I don't want fucking reminding.
Well, this isn't. I mean, the setup was, but the outcome is something I think a lot of people have had to deal with that don't realize how kind of have to do sometimes. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. It's just decisions have to be made. It's dark. I'll let you hear it when we record it. I'll send it to you.
Oh, cool, man. Cool. Yeah, no, no, that's cool.
So there's a lot of like, and the newer songs have like crazy time signatures. And so it's just really hard to try and figure out like, well, how am I going to write lyrics over this? And it still makes sense without being like herky jerky with it. Yeah. And it come off weird. So I had to change how I do vocals, period, just in terms of my own writing and cadence. Like, it's just totally new to me. So it's like writing it's like it's almost like writing a new record.
Oh, wow. Fancy that.
It's just new to me. So they're doing great stuff as a band, like writing all these really interesting songs, which you don't really, when it comes to thrash metal, you don't be like, oh, that's interesting. It's just like, is it fast? Is it loud? Is it heavy? That's all you gotta do. But these are like, this is kind of interesting. Almost like, I don't want to compare because I don't think the comparison is like valid, but like how that band death metal was like really interesting.
Yes.
And like Chuck did a lot of very interesting like decisions. And I'm not saying we're like a death level band, fuck no, but like there are just like writing decisions made that I'm like, that's strange. I thought I was going to be complete, like going from part to part in songs. I was like, I thought you were going to do something completely different than what you did. And it keeps it interesting and it keeps it cool and it keeps it fun. And like I've already listened to those, like the little voice memo, like phone demos, like hundreds of times, because I'm just like, that's just so strange, and not in a bad way.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, wow, that's really cool. So I was like, well, if anyone listens to this and if they listen to it 600 times, that's awesome. Like, if anyone wants to listen to my band like I listen to my band, like that'd be really cool. But I think I'm the only one.
I know how you feel. I know how you feel.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, I said to the guys before, it was about a month before our album came out, I was like, just spend the next month with the album, playing it, because in a month's time, it's not ours anymore. Okay, yeah. we're totally giving it away to everybody else, and people are going to be telling you which the best song is and their favorite part and what the songs are about. So for this little window here,
man. Just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. Like, it's done. Listen to it as much as you like. It's about to come out. So if you want to change anything, now is the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you got about a week to make or tweak before he hits the pressing plant, and then we're done. So listen to it 700 times a day and make sure that you're okay with everything.
Well, it's and then and then it gets released, and then it's not yours anymore. So like when Kilgore came out, we all just had a barbecue over at our bassist's house, and we just kind of ignored everything as much as we could. But like we were selling albums through our Bandcamp page, so like everyone's phone was just igniting with every like purchase and stuff. Yeah. So we just put them away. We're just like, just don't, because everyone's phone's buzzing like constantly. So everyone's just trying to enjoy like having a barbecue, and like everyone's just looking at their phone like every 5 seconds because they think it could be anything. But just like, now for the next couple hours, it's going to be one thing. So just put it away. Yeah.
Like,
That's a great idea.
It was a really good day.
That's awesome.
But yeah, the hopefully the next one is received the same way. I hope more so.
Me too, man. And do you know what? Look, that's as much as I could carry on chatting to you for the next 10 hours. I got to go.
We're about to do it. We're about to do it again.
Yeah. I've got to fuck off. I've got a gig tonight.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, good luck, man.
Thank you very much. It's all right. It's like, you know, I've been doing comedy for like 25 years now. So I'm like, just.
It's a comedy gig. It's not an acting gig.
Oh God,
okay.
no. It's a comedy show.
Okay.
So
cool.
I'm going to go out and do that. But dude, it's awesome to see you. Thanks for making the time. And
absolutely, dude, Howard, I love talking to you. Whenever you want to talk and just for talking Bollocks or just in general, just give me a holler. You got my number now.
Well, we'll have a chat and not record it.
That'd be cool too. I mean,
absolutely.
You'll get the same shit.
Yeah, you will as well, unfortunately.
No.
But anyway, man,
might as well record it then.
Absolute pleasure. You take care.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Take it easy. Bye.
Yeah, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.